People of Reddit, what was something about someone you didn't find out until the bedroom? Prosthetic leg. How many pillows my now wife had the first time I visited her bedroom? Like, it was more pillows than bed. Does it still count as having sex on the bed? That she had a condition that made it that she didn't experience a lot of sensation on her skin. She wet the bed that night and didn't seem to notice when she got up to go to the restroom in the morning. I switched the sheet and waterproof cover and pretended nothing happened when she got back. I was having wild sex with a guy, and I kinda yanked on his hair, and the whole wig moved under my hand. I just put it back and pretended like I didn't notice. She was being annoying during the day to provoke me in the bedroom. So I learned that being a brat is a very different thing when you're an adult. She took her shirt off and had cuts all over her stomach. Was quite shocking, but I made no big reaction and she seemed glad of that. She told me later she was shocked that I did not walk out on her. I was about to have sex with a girl with long blonde hair that I dated for a while. When we finally became intimate, she pulled off her wig to reveal her short red hair. We knew each other for almost 2 years, and I had no idea. I was so floored because I prefer redheads with short hair. So this was a very pleasant, awesome surprise. He only had one testicle. He never shared he was a testicular cancer survivor and he was incredibly self-conscious about it. It wasn't even the first time we had sex, but the first time he just pulled it out through his fly and I rolled with it. That she has no gag reflex. That just doesn't come up during day-to-day life. Always thought guys with big things would be loud and boastful, so I was pretty shocked when a guy I was seeing who was kind and shy pulled that thing out. I found out that she folds instantly to kisses on the neck. I found out that I do too. Some women can fake their orgasms with a much greater sense of authenticity than others. I have a warm body. It's always warm and I'm kinda skinny. I thought others have it too. Nope, not always. I might have heating leakage problem with my body, lol. I didn't know I had REM sleep behavior disorder until an ex told me about it. I would throw my hands and elbows around and most commonly I would close my fists and claw at my face. I was messing with the window 3 stories up one time apparently also. I eventually learned it was either caused by excessive drinking or the sleep medicine I used. It's been a long time since my last episode. That my fiancé has a huge rack. I still don't understand how she hides those puppies so well. The super friendly, kind and considerate guy is extremely dominant in the bedroom. And maybe a bit fastidist. She only enjoyed doggy, and her back was covered in those cheap, ugly, $20 tattoos that some shops offer. I knew she had tattoos, and I'm cool with that, but she put all the crap ones on her back, and she looked like someone sticker bombed her. It was so distracting that I couldn't stay hard. How ridiculously strong he was. I was 220 pounds easily when we met, and he wasn't much taller but he was fit. We were doing cowgirl and he lifted and flipped me in one move. The clit is surprisingly easy to find. A girl I dated was very type A and reserved. She was her class valedictorian and I wouldn't say nerdy but just very quiet and studious. I was her first. And when we started having sex, I unleashed a monster. She was the exact opposite, very confident and sexy, willing to try just about anything, and would turn into an absolute savage in bed. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. My GF out the bedroom, shy as anything. My GF in the bedroom, a porn star, lol. That they drove 120 kilometers and booked a hotel room in the middle of nowhere for us but forgot to wash their DCK. Kind, shy, sweetheart with a heart of gold who couldn't even muster the courage to ask me out for 5 years and could barely ask me when he finally decided to. Also nervous and self-conscious due to only having one testicle. Got him in the bedroom however and shit got super kinky. He's a damn beast. He can lift me without even trying and can manhandle me with ease. It has me wet and weak in seconds. Although he folds like a napkin to compliments, so I get my teasing done too. I have learned that women in the UK complimented more my dick than women back home in Italy. And I'm not sure yet if it's a good thing or not. And people are seriously more concerned about STDs in the UK, and in the bed right before doing anything there is always the "have you checked, are you clean?" Which is something I like, better safe than sorry. Couple I know abstained from sleeping together until the wedding night, and both came from very strict conservative households. On their wedding night, they were both astonished to discover the opposite sex had pubic hair. Must have been an interesting night of discovery for both of them. They have 3 children now, presumably they figured it all out. Seriously, though, sign the permission slip and let your kids go to sex ed classes. That he was a coke addict. We were both naked and getting into bed, and he pulled out a bag of cocaine and started doing lines. I stopped hooking up with strangers after that. Literally just as I'm inserting my dick into this girl's vagina for the first time, she says to me, "Oh, by the way, I have herpes, but don't worry, I'm not having an outbreak right now." I was condomed, and yes, I still fucked her, but I thought the timing of that info wasn't great. I once dated a friend who developed feelings for me, and she dressed super frumpy, in baggy clothes. I was dating her because we got along pretty well, and I had assumed that she had kind of a pear-shaped body. It turns out that under those clothes she was basically a bikini model. My mind was kind of blown. She was also quite kinky and had a very high libido. It was nice in many ways, though she was looking for kids and I wasn't, and there were some personality issues. She was immature, not supportive at all, and she couldn't deal with her anger in a healthy way. That demure school teacher. The one who has kids follow her around like ducklings because she's so kind and patient. That's a disguise. You're a sex-crazed, loud fiend lives in that costume, and I'm now a mix of horny and frightened. I'm that. I made a throwaway for this one. The someone is me. I didn't realize that I was circumcised wrong. I have always had this dorsal fin in the middle of my shaft, and I was certain that it was normal. Every partner I had never said anything about it, and it wasn't until my wife asked me, "What's this?" that I even began to suspect it. I told her it was my shark fin and that every guy had it. Facepalm #hash. That she had a latex allergy. We had been involved for months, taking things slow since it was her first relationship. She proposed we make things more physical, then said, "Oh, the condoms are latex. I'm allergic." And not in a sexy "we'll have to go without" kind of way. The closest store was 15 minutes away, and she was too nervous to go in with me in case her parents or grandparents were shopping at the same time. X200B. We're getting married in 8 months. The quiet boy was actually really freaky. Cute little Africa-shaped birthmark on her left hip. Was enjoying the afterglow with my girlfriend, and I ran my hand over her lower abdomen. I could feel she has a vertical scar from her waist up to her belly button. Turns out she got pregnant at 19, had the kid via C-section, and gave it up for adoption. That my very quiet, reserved, just blends into the background guy is actually like a wild animal in the bedroom. What a shock to the system that was for me, as I always seen myself as the very outgoing adventures type, but this husband of mine got me acting like a novice. LOL, smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes. I was most definitely on the back foot when he unleashed. He has opened up all these new doors, typically BDSM, and now I'm utterly obsessed with him and my newfound sexual lifestyle. Note: don't judge a book by its cover. LOL. My ex-girlfriend didn't inform me of her birth control ring neithering the first time we slept together. I've never heard of these things before then. So there I am, in the midst of making sweet sexy love. Do I feel something take hold of my penis? My instant thought was that I somehow perfectly aligned myself with an old used condom. My heart dropped. I pulled out, trying not to scream, then she as surprised was I, told me that it was only her birth control. I did a project testing and redesigning spinal implants in uni engineering. So I am in this girl's bedroom, her shirt comes off and I see her scars on her back. I say cool, you've got Harrington rods, and started asking about them and whether they were for scoliosis. She turns around kinda pissed and says normal guys care more about my boobs in the front than the scars on my back. A very shy woman I worked with and dated for 3 years was wild in bed. She was literally down for anything. And she wanted it every day. It was insane. If you saw her you would never